I'm Anil Kumar, and here is a challenge question for you on finding positive and negative interval for the given function. The question here is, write positive and negative interval for the function y equals to x minus 5 whole square minus 9. You can pause the video, try the question, and then look into my suggestion. Now, positive and negative intervals are defined by the x-intercept or zeros of the function. So you need to find x-intercept or zeros of this function. How are you going to find it? So the objective here is to find x-intercept. Now what is x-intercept? X-intercept is a point where the graph crosses x-axis, and at that point y is equals to 0. So to find x-intercept, I will equate y equals to 0 and then solve the equations. We have x minus 5 whole square minus 9. Bringing 9 to the left will give us 9 equals to x minus 5 whole square. Now we'll square root. So square root of 9 equals to x minus 5. Whenever you square root, you should use plus and minus, right? Minus 3 square is also 9 and plus 3 square is also 9. Therefore plus minus 3 is what you should get. So that gives you the value of x, which is bringing 5 here, 5 plus minus 3. So that gives you two values of x. If I consider plus value, it's 8, minus value of 3, 5 minus 3 is 2. So that is the graph. This particular graph opens upwards since the leading coefficient is positive, correct? You would also find y-intercept, right? So we'll find y-intercept also. It helps to sketch properly. Y-intercept is when x equals to 0. So if I substitute x equals to 0, I get y equals to 0 minus 5 whole square minus 9, which is 25 minus 9 or 16, correct? So that is the y-intercept. So let me sketch the graph now. So I'm just making a very rough sketch. I'm saying this is my parabola, right? This is my parabola which has a vertex here which is at 5 and minus 9, correct? And as far as the axis is concerned, y-intercept is at 16, right? So positive 16 somewhere there, and x and y intercepts are at 2 and 8. So these are both positive values. So let me sketch a line kind of like this, okay, and then something like this, okay. So that gives us the y-intercept as positive, and let me say this value is positive 16 for us. It makes sense, right? And we'll call this point as the first 0 at 2, which is 0, and this we'll call 8. So that's kind of an approximate, just a sketch to answer the question. Now clearly you can write down the intervals when the graph is positive and when the graph is negative. You see it is positive from minus infinity to 2 and then from 8 to positive infinity. So we can write down interval for positive is from minus infinity to 2, right? Union means and from 8 to positive infinity. As far as the interval for negative values concerned, it is between 2 and 8, right? So that is how you could answer this question. It is important to understand how from the vertex form we can find the x-intercept, right? Here is a practice question for you. You can try to answer the question like x plus 3 whole square minus, let me take 4 here, okay? So try to find increasing and decreasing intervals as well as positive and negative intervals for the given function. So find two things. So we want interval for, let me write down here, increasing and decreasing, and also for positive and negative value. Is it okay? So that is your practice question. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.